Shedeur Sanders just completely ripped the lid off the Cleveland Browns quarterback room, exposing an absolute disaster of a culture from last year while dropping a brilliant blueprint on exactly how to fix this broken franchise today. Before we dive in, smash that subscribe button if you want the fastest NFL updates on the planet. Are we seriously about to watch a fifth-round rookie quarterback completely hijack the most cursed organization in professional sports? Because Coach Prime is absolutely not sitting quietly in the shadows while his son fights for his NFL life. Shedeur Sanders recently spilled the beans on a highly confidential, closed-door strategy session he is actively setting up with Cleveland's new offensive guru, Todd Monken. Now, if you are an outsider looking in, you might be thinking this is just a helicopter parent trying to force his kid onto the field. But you would be totally, completely wrong. Shedeur is making this chess move as a brilliant football mind who knows exactly how to unlock a superstar. He built an entire, high-octane collegiate offense around Shedeur and extracted every single ounce of greatness out of him on the field. Shedeur is walking into that room with Monken to hand over the absolute masterclass formula for number 2. It is not about begging for undeserved playing time. It is about handing Cleveland the literal keys to $1 million sports car and showing them exactly how to start the engine for maximum horsepower. But hold on, because the reason this meeting is even necessary exposes a massive betrayal from the Browns' recent past. You will not believe how bad things were for rookie quarterbacks under this roof just a few short months ago. To understand why this Shedeur and Monken connection is so insane, we have to look at the cold, hard, uncomfortable reality of what happened last season. Shedeur Sanders is a guy who thrives on positive energy and passion. He desperately needs a coach who speaks life into his veins and builds up his confidence. When you believe in Shedeur, he goes out on Sunday, throws for 400 yards, and rips the beating hearts out of opposing defenses. That is simply how his brain is wired to compete. But that warm environment absolutely did not exist with Kevin Stefanski last year. The locker room culture was ice cold. We are talking about a head coach who flat out refused to even hand out a commemorative game ball to rookie quarterbacks after they secured their first hard-fought victory in the National Football League. Imagine that. A young rookie bleeds for the team, takes massive hits, gets a highly improbable win, and instead of a massive celebration, he just gets a dry pat on the back and a generic nice job. That is a total disaster for a fiery, emotional player who feeds off pure passion. Shedeur absolutely cannot operate in a lifeless, corporate vacuum like that. It feels like a subtle betrayal of the immense blood, sweat, and tears these young guys put into the sport. Who is actually to blame for this toxic quarterback situation in Cleveland? Drop a name below. I want to read your raw, unfiltered thoughts right now in the comments. Thank goodness Todd Monken stepped into the building, because he completely flipped the script the second he walked through the doors. The moment Monken arrived, the entire vibe at practice shifted dramatically. The dark, gloomy clouds hanging over the facility parted. You could actually see Shedeur visibly glowing and smiling from ear to ear when talking to the press about his new offensive coordinator. Monken is injecting pure, unadulterated energy into the veins of this stagnant offense. Shedeur absolutely loves the guy. He publicly called Monken a straight shooter who only cares about the present moment. Monken does not care about the historic factory of sadness. He does not care about the decades of embarrassing losing seasons. He only cares about winning football games right here, right now, with the guys in the huddle. And if you dare to doubt Todd Monken, you desperately need to check the history books, because the guy delivers a masterclass everywhere he goes. He is a certified quarterback whisperer. Do you need cold, hard proof? Look at Lamar Jackson. Lamar won a unanimous Most Valuable Player award and posted his absolute greatest career passer rating with Monken pulling the strings and calling the plays. Look at Jameis Winston. Jameis put up his absolute best passing statistics and looked like a true franchise guy when Monken was calling the shots down in Tampa Bay. Heck, he even squeezed pure, unfiltered magic out of Ryan Fitzpatrick for a historic, mind-blowing 4-week stretch that had the entire league buzzing. But the craziest, most undeniable example of all is Stetson Bennett. Monken took a walk-on quarterback and turned Stetson Bennett into a legitimate Heisman Trophy finalist. He guided the Georgia Bulldogs to back-to-back national championships with a guy nobody believed in. And guess what? Georgia has not won a single playoff game since Todd Monken packed his bags and left for the professional ranks. That one fact tells you absolutely everything you need to know about his offensive genius. So, Monken clearly has the magic touch. But wait until you hear the shocking truth about why Shedeur even fell to the Browns in the first place, because Deion just exposed a massive, league-wide web of lies. Let us rewind the tape back to the NFL draft, which was an absolute, terrifying roller coaster of emotions for the Sanders family. Shedeur went through pure hell during the entire draft process. Those are Deion's exact, unfiltered words. We all sat on our couches and watched a guy who was heavily projected by experts to go second overall suddenly completely freefall down the draft boards. The slide was insane to witness live. He did not hear his name called on day 1. He did not hear it on day 2. He finally got the call in the 5th round, at pick 144. A generational, undeniable first-round talent tumbling down the ranks like a rock tied to an anchor. Why in the world did it happen? Was it the intense combine interviews? Remember when he famously looked those stiff evaluators dead in the eye and asked if they knew who his dad was? A lot of traditional front offices clutched their pearls and threw a fit over that level of confidence. But you have to love his pure swagger. He told these billionaire teams straight up, if you do not actually want to change your miserable franchise, do not bother drafting me. That is the exact alpha dog mentality you desperately want from a franchise savior. But Deion recently took to the microphone and revealed the real, sinister reason for the slide, and it is absolutely infuriating. The pre-draft media cycle was flooded with straight-up lies. Phony, fabricated reports leaked to the press claiming Shedeur was wildly unprofessional. People literally spread baseless rumors that he would sit in crucial film room meetings wearing massive headphones, completely ignoring his positional coaches. Deion went on the absolute warpath, setting the record straight, directly calling out lying reporters for purposely pushing false, damaging narratives to tank his draft stock. He made it crystal clear to the entire world, Shedeur would never, ever show up to a meeting unprepared. You do not achieve his elite level of greatness on the football field without being a total sicko who was obsessed with the playbook. The character assassination was a coordinated, disgusting disaster. Even veteran draft experts like Mel Kiper loudly defended him on national television. Kiper insisted Shedeur was the absolute best pure passer in the entire draft class, bar none. Yet, whispers around the league suggested cowardly general managers were absolutely terrified of the Sanders media circus. Some executives even quietly admitted behind closed doors that if his last name was Smith instead of Sanders, he would have been a high draft pick easily. But the legendary last name brought a massive, unfair target on his back. Through all that fake noise, all that absolute disrespect, and all the constant doubting, Shedeur matured on a deeply spiritual level. He did not let the jealous haters break his spirit. When Cleveland finally called his phone, he did not pout about losing guaranteed money. He celebrated like a champion. He jumped straight into a swimming pool, totally grateful for the opportunity to prove 31 other blind teams completely wrong. But that brings us to the ultimate, high-stakes showdown happening right now in training camp, and the stakes could not possibly be higher for this franchise. We are currently staring down the barrel of the most intense, heavily scrutinized training camp battle in the entire National Football League. The quarterback competition in Cleveland is officially underway, and it is going to be a bloodbath. On one side of the ring, you have the wildly expensive, heavily criticized veteran who is desperately trying to prove he still belongs in the league. On the exact opposite side, you have the young, hungry, fiercely motivated fifth-round steal, Shedeur Sanders, who is ready to rip the starting job away by force. If you are a die-hard fan hoping to see a fresh, electrifying face under center, Deion's secret strategy sessions with Todd Monken are the absolute greatest news you could possibly receive today. We have an elite, proven offensive coordinator getting the ultimate cheat codes directly from the Hall of Fame man who raised and coached the rookie. This unique collaboration could absolutely fast-track Shedeur's mental development and push his physical talents completely over the top before Week 1 even kicks off. Now, if we are being realistically brutal, there is a very strong chance the stubborn front office forces the highly paid veteran onto the field for the first few weeks of the regular season just to justify his massive, bloated contract to the angry fan base. But let us be brutally honest with ourselves for a second. Given the massive energy shift in the building, the undeniable arm talent we see every day in practice, and the massive, raging chip on Shedeur's shoulder, it feels like a total guarantee that the rookie will see the field this year. The second the veteran inevitably struggles, throws a bad interception, or the offense looks flat and lifeless, 70,000 screaming fans in that stadium are going to aggressively demand number 2. We are watching the very foundation of this cursed franchise completely shift right before our eyes. A brand new, electrifying era is aggressively brewing in Cleveland. It is being driven by a brilliant offensive mind who finally believes in his players, and a rookie quarterback who is absolutely desperate to make the entire league pay the ultimate price for passing on him 143 consecutive times. Keep your eyes glued to this roster every single day, because the exact moment Shedeur Sanders takes that very first professional snap in a real game, the entire landscape of the National Football League changes forever.